If you've been watching the show for some time, you'll know how just extensively we cover all things UFO, or UAP as the government now calls it.
Right, UAPs.
This show was the first to interview whistleblower David Grusch, and he was a former Air Force officer who came forward to claim that the government had secretly recovered alien technology. That was 2 years ago. And now what was then crazy has become something of a unifying topic for lawmakers from both sides of the aisle, to the point where a brand new documentary is being released today about all things UAP, and it's all featuring officials from the very highest levels of the U.S. government. The documentary is called The Age of Disclosure, and it tells the story of an 80-year global cover-up concealing the existence of intelligent alien life and technology.
Okay.
Tonight, we bring you an exclusive clip.
We learned that the U.S. government was involved in a long-running secret war with other nations to collect and reverse engineer vehicles not made by humans.
Some people claim it would cost them their lives if they spoke out about these things.
A lot of people said that.
The country that cracks the code on this technology will be the leader for years to come. This is similar to the Manhattan Project. This is the atomic weapon on steroids.
If Xi Jinping had access to this,
it would be.
if Putin had.
Like I will say though, like if we were to find out like UAPs or UFOs actually like were a thing, if we were to find out, that would definitely start changing kind of everything around us, obviously, right? But I'm also not sure that the government, in fact, actually would like for that to happen, guys. I mean, mass panic is definitely a thing. I can almost immediately. Let me talk about here, guys. Hold on. I can pretty much guarantee, at least, that there will be some like groups, specifically like some like large entities, organized type of groups, let's say, that would absolutely find this to be offensive in the first place here.
Access. You think for a second that they wouldn't consider using it to achieve their ends of domination?
What's his stance on aliens?
Surprises that change the course of human history.
Is it like the Fermi paradox, potentially?
Dan Farah is the documentary's director and producer, and he joins me now. All right, Dan, I was up way too late watching this entire thing because I literally couldn't stop. Congratulations. It's fantastic. I was struck by this line from one of the people you interviewed. Without a doubt, there has never been a program before that has been so successfully kept out of the public eye as the legacy crash retrieval program. What is it?
One of the intelligence officials in the film makes that statement. And, previously the most secretive program was the Manhattan Project, but we found out in hindsight that the Manhattan Project had leaks. Mm-hmm. So when this program was created, they made it even more secretive and put more security measures in place. And those security measures have ruled the day the last 80 years. The legacy crash retrieval program is something that the Air Force does for the most part. They have special units that go out to collect, to retrieve alien spacecraft that have crashed. Well, the people in my film reveal that the elements of this program are elements of the Air Force, elements of the CIA, elements of the Department of Energy, and military defense contractors. All right, for decades, they've had these units that go out, and we're not the only ones with these units that are going out to retrieve the stuff.
What was that?
Russia and China are too. That's the other amazing thing that you reveal in the film, which is that we're in a secret arms race. Yeah, it's arguably the most shocking of the reveals that there is this high-stakes secret Cold War race to reverse engineer technology of non-human origin that the United States is involved in with adversarial nations like China and Russia. We think China and Russia both have retrieved alien spacecraft as well. That's what the officials in my film go on the record stating. They go on the record, in fact, saying that what in 1989 we think.
Yeah, but guys, like, wouldn't that like immediately be like some classified information that they can't actually divulge, as long as they're alive, type of thing?
The Soviets retrieved a tic-tac shaped spacecraft that had crashed.
Which was significantly larger than the Tic Tac encountered by the Nimitz carrier strike group and, Commander Dave Fravor, who pursued it.
You also have two different astrophysicists in the documentary who say the government has retrieved at least 2 different alien species, and that one of them made contact with the crash retrieval team. What does that mean? Does that mean it was alive? when they captured
One of the intelligence officials in the film speaks about an event that happened on a U.S. military base where two UAP approached the base. One of them landed, and apparently non-human beings exited the craft and interacted with members of the Air Force and the CIA. Now, here's the thing: these are
Bro, leak the footage, because obviously, listen. Here's the thing: if this happened on a military bases are like extremely, cameraed up. Let's say, right? If we have this type of leaked footage, right? Obviously, via Freedom of Information Act, etc. Like, leak that footage. I think I would absolutely love to see some random, ET type of being, let's say, walking up or even floating. Guys, I want to know. I mean, maybe it's not like a carbon-based object. It could be something like a silicone-based thing, or it could just be something else. Guys, I don't know. I just want to see it.
These all sound like extraordinary claims.
It does.
That are hard for people to wrap their head around, right?
Right.
But these are 34. In my film, there's 34 extremely high-level military, government, and intelligence officials, people who have been trusted with very high-level security clearances, people who have been involved in, keeping this nation safe in many different ways, and people who we trust in a lot of scenarios. And, these interview subjects range from our Secretary of State to sitting senators to former, Director of National Intelligence, a former Secretary of Defense, leaders from the Pentagon, leaders from the CIA, leaders from the Air Force, leaders from the Navy. I mean, the list goes on and on. It's really hard to ignore what these people are saying.
It's really hard to say this is one kooky person doing this when you have this much experience in every level and every branch of government all coming together on camera to say, not only have we retrieved alien spacecraft, we've retrieved alien remains.
Yeah, and keep in mind, these are people that are not aligned at all ideologically or politically.
Right.
But they're aligned
I can
on
imagine.
this. So it's 34 senior officials sharing one truth.
This was something that I did not know, was that during the second Bush presidency, Bush 2, they actually they convened a cabinet meeting and debated and discussed for days about whether or not to finally go public with this program, with what they have found and what they have discovered.
So Bush 2 had learned the base facts that we're not alone in the universe and that there have been recoveries of technology of non-human origin. And he was contemplating whether to share that with the world during his presidency. And he put together a think tank.
Okay.
One of the officials in my film was part of that think tank, and he goes on the record about it. They were asked to analyze the impact to various aspects of our society, from religion to the economy, and they all went into it bullish on the idea of disclosure, and after evaluating it, they all decided it was a bad idea.
Why?
For various reasons, just the impact, the place we were as a country following 9/11, they just didn't think it was a good idea. They thought that we weren't ready for it, right?
Guys,
The
we're
film
ready.
also reveals
Kinda.
that in Trump's first administration,
Some of us are ready.
He contemplated going public in a similar way. One of the officials in my film, high-level intelligence official, goes on record saying that Secretary Mnuchin reached out to him and asked him for a high-level briefing on this topic because he wanted to know what the economic repercussions might be.
No, I love that part of it because he said,
I agree with
"Do
you,
wanna
Viper."
know why I'm asking you?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Why?" He said, "Because I need to figure out what's going to happen to our economy if we come out as a government and say aliens exist, aliens are here, and we
Right.
have them."
Yeah. And obviously they made
Stock market crash.
the same decision Bush 2 did, which was to not go public,
not go
right?
public.
Right.
To keep it internal to the people who know.
There was one part of the documentary I wanted more information on. You interview a former military analyst who said that he and others who had interactions with the UAPs are now suffering physical effects. What interactions did they have?
Yeah, so one of the, to be honest, not so shocking reveals is that intelligence officials who have had encounters with UAP end up having biological effects. And I say not surprising because this is technology that
Like
we don't
different
understand
things, right?
fully, that is emitting a lot of energy. And in the same way that if you stand behind the back of a,
So he came close
fighter
to one
jet,
of
you're
these-
going to get hurt.
He came close to one of these.
Yeah, came
ships that were
close
recovered.
Like,
to multiple UAP
well, like some sort of like radiation effect or something?
and ended up having biological effects.
And yet, because so much of this information is classified, none of them can go on camera and say what they saw specifically.
Yeah, not specifically. So look, the reality of it is, for 80 years, all of this has been kept from the public, Congress, and even sitting presidents. And I think that really changes today when this movie comes out and the public learns the truth finally. And my hope is it sets the stage for the president finally stepping up and telling the world the base facts, that we're not alone in the universe and what he knows is going on.
At the very least, he'll convene maybe a cabinet meeting in which, then they'll all say, no, would it be?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the world is more prepared for this
I think
now.
we're ready for it. I think the people can handle the truth.
Okay, last question. You point out in the documentary, I found this very, very intriguing, but you point out that we as humans have only mapped about 27% of Earth's oceans. We know more about the surface
Outer
of the
space,
moon and the surface of Mars than we do about
Valid.
our own oceans.
Yeah.
And you have several of these astrophysicists and intelligence officials saying, you know what? It's possible these objects, these UAPs, UFOs, whatever you want to call them, aren't coming from outer space. They might be coming from the ocean.
Yeah,
That's another theory.
We have senior members of the House Intelligence Committee going on the record saying that the craft seen coming out of the ocean are
Exactly,
otherworldly
Viper.
things. They straight up say on camera, these are not rockets, they're not aircraft.
They're moving at hundreds of miles an hour underwater,
They're
which is
otherworldly things
inconceivable.
defying physics as we know it. And then retired Admiral Gallaudet, who was the chief oceanographer of the United States Navy, he is the one who states, that fact you just shared, and that he makes the point of if you were an intelligent species from somewhere else and you wanted to hide from humanity, the most obvious place would be our oceans.
Right, that's where you got to hide.
Yeah, but these are now called USOs though. But either way, okay. So just like listening to this here, I definitely agree with you, Viper here. He's just the one that gets to profit from this, and it's just him. Why is he special? What exactly does he have specifically that makes it so he's the one that's able to profit from all of these people, specifically coming out and breaking their clearances? That's what it seems like, guys, right? He's like, they're all breaking their clearances for the sole purpose of this guy's pockets. Okay, now listen, guys. There are like a gigantic amount of theories that are out there kind of regarding if aliens actually do in fact exist. I probably lean more into like the dark forest hypothesis, meaning basically there is in fact some intelligent life out there, let's say, but the outer space itself is the dark forest, let's say, and the other groups of people or beings specifically that are out there have no real actual interest in divulging their location. Why? Because there's someone bigger and badder out there, bro. Right? They're trying to absolutely annihilate you. Right? That's the kind of vibe I get from it. I think that outer space is more of a dark forest, right? Where you may occasionally see like some, I don't know, it's like a predator's eyes or something. If you get what I'm saying here, guys. I lean more into that specifically. I don't really align myself with Enrique Fermi or his overall paradox kind of regarding it, guys. I don't really align with it very, very closely. Not really. But I definitely would say that we're more of a dark forest. That's it. That's kind of where I'm at right here, guys. With all of this alien type of talk here. I think that it's dangerous for us to send out these boxes, into outer space specifically to say, hey, listen, if you're out there, come and see us. That type of thing here, guys. I don't think so. Because, like, listen, the chance of us being the only, like, living beings in our form specifically is not very high. Right? The chance of us being the only ones, I wouldn't say is very high, bro. But I would also suspect that there may be things out there that are completely based in like or rooted in different things. We are carbon. There could be silicone. I do suspect that there's probably something like that, or something even more sci-fi than that, at least here. I've seen the 3-body problem. Wait. I think is that a show? I think it's a show. I've heard of it. I don't know if that's a theory or not. I don't think so. I don't think so at all. But yes. This is what I'm talking about, bro. If these things come, right? If they come to us, I don't think it's nothing good. Like I don't think that it's like a benevolent thing. Yeah, like I know of it as a show, but I haven't seen it yet. And it's been like suggested a whole lot for me to actually encounter. I just haven't seen it yet, or read the book or anything. So I don't really know much about that specific thing here. Yeah. That's where I'm at. I'm like legitimately. I think outer space is a dark forest. That's kind of where I'm at right there, guys. Period. That's like, I think we're a dark forest, and I don't think that we should be emitting things to allow people to recognize where we are specifically if we have not been found. And understand that's kind of where I'm at when it kind of comes to that specific thing. We look like a pale blue dot. Shout out to obviously Carl Sagan, the absolute legendary GOAT, right? We are just a pale blue dot. So let's stop trying to promote ourselves out there, bro. Just my opinion, right? I'm just a random guy on the internet here, right? But that's my stance on that here. If they're there, cool. Leave them alone, bro. Why would we want them here? If they got here, they have the ability most likely to traverse gigantic amounts of space here. Guys, space and time, let's say, because I'm pretty sure that they're not just using some like Star Trek warp drive or anything like that. I'm sure they're folding space. All right, that means they have the ability to do all types of crazy things, even terraform new places. Right? Like, what if they like our land and say, "Hold on, you guys got water, right? You have a whole lot of water. Let's just go ahead and take that." That's kind of where I'm at with that, at least, guys. I mean, the beings on our planet may not be worthy of the technology. They're probably going to be like, "Hey, listen, I think it's time to get rid of you guys. We got to pack you guys up. You guys fighting over stupid stuff." Guys, do you want to watch movies with me? I never actually thought to like promote it over here, guys. But if you guys do want to watch it, guys, we have hundreds of movies, and I mean hundreds of movies that we've reacted to. You guys can come watch them with me if you want to, along with many TV shows. Currently, we're working on the show Dexter, along with Vikings, and we have a lot of series that are already completed. But if you guys do want to watch it with me, the link is in the description. Everything's available at the second tier. But of course, if that's not your thing, guys, don't worry. Right? Listen, like and subscribe.